Warning. This video will discuss dark themes of self-harm. You've been warned.
Oh, but did you know? This school used to be a hospital. Rumor has it the whole school is haunted because so many people died here during that time. What's happening? I'm scared. I'm just so scared.
I don't know why you're here. Be careful. It's dangerous here at night. Night is when the dead ones come to life.
And I keep seeing these impossible, creepy things. It's all because of this place. This cursed school is making all this happen. Maybe the rumor's true. I mean, especially on a night like this. Boo! Did I scare you?
Well, it's that time of year again. The only time of year where cosplayers aren't looked at as weird outcasts. I'm Ali Kubo, and it's Halloween, everyone. Some people love this holiday for many different reasons. The parties, the outfits, the candy. Me? I love it for the atmosphere. There is nothing like sitting in a dark room, opening a window to let in that nice, crisp fall air while sipping on a cup of cocoa and playing a good horror game. I've been playing the new Silent Hill all week, and I'm telling you, my friend, there is no greater feeling.
All right, wait for it. There we go. Ah! Baby strike. Baby strike. Ah! No babies on my watch.
Seeing as it's that time of year again, I figured what better time to start my YouTube channel than to talk about one of my favorite horror games. And that would be the Korean horror game White Day, a Labyrinth Named School. This game is actually a remake of the original that was released back in 2001 for PC. It got a mobile remake in 2015, and then I think it was ported over to consoles in 2017. The game was developed by Korean developers Sonori, who is best known for developing White Day and its VR spinoff. I have to admit, when I saw this game in my local GameStop, I really didn't expect much from it, but man, was I wrong.
어머머, 정말이야? 그렇다니까. 야! 소리 없이 나타나면 놀라잖아.
The original apparently never received an official Western release, but it did build a decent cult following, so it received a fan translation instead. The demand had to be there, however, if they imported the remake. Not only did they give it a proper translation, they also gave it a good voice dubbing too.
Oh. Huh, not bad. Thanks a lot.
White Day, for those of you who may not know, is the sister holiday of Valentine's Day. Girls usually hand out gifts on Valentine's, and the men will return the favor a month later on White Day. The story behind its conception is pretty interesting, and I recommend you read up on it. But with that being said, the game White Day will follow a new transfer student, Hee Min, as he sneaks into the school after hours to leave candies on the desk of his crush, So-young, a mysterious and beautiful girl who comes to the school at night to investigate her sister's death. Hee Min gets trapped in the school by the vengeful spirits that haunt it, so now he and So-young have to escape before morning or they'll be trapped there forever. I had so much fun with this game that it wasn't until my 7th playthrough that I realized this is one of my favorite horror games ever. If you haven't played the game yet and you think you want to, I would recommend you do that first and then come back and watch this video because I'm going to spoil the entire thing. And if you don't mind spoilers, then I guess you can just grab your security blanket, sit back, relax, and let's talk about White Day. When we start the game, we get a cutscene. We see our protagonist, Hee Min Lee, as he spots a girl sitting on a bench reading something. This girl is So Young. She looks at the photo before the wind takes it and places it at the feet of Hee Min. He picks it up and returns it to her before So Young rudely snatches it away. It seems as if she's about to apologize, but is distracted when her friend, Ji-Hyeon, appears. She leaves and Hee Min notices that she left her diary. He sneaks back into the school to leave it on her desk along with some White Day chocolates. The gates shut behind him, and with that, the game starts. Oh, right off the bat, this game is setting the atmosphere with that creepy tune. This is the main theme of White Day, ironically named The Labyrinth, performed by the late Bianchi Wang. This song was a main staple of the original 2001 release, and that game helped solidify its popularity in Korea. Urban legends began to spread about the song that only drew more people to it. Rumors like listening to the song would drive you insane or listening to it too many times would kill you. Bianchi said he was always amazed by how popular the song got, especially with the younger generation. He even stated that he had no idea how the song would turn out in each performance, as the lyrics was just a female singer reading off of a current time newspaper. There is a live show uploaded on YouTube that shows the insane performance as the singer grows more and more manic as the song goes on. The song is an integral part of White Day, so when the mobile remake was announced, naturally they got Bianchi to come back and re-record the song. Sadly, he passed away in 2018 at the age of 81. Rest in peace. Before we start the game, let's just take a look at the menu for a bit. Let's see, extra content. Oh, we have different costumes to wear? That's pretty neat. 30 plus costumes. I guess the case did mention that. You do have some alternate outfits, like the different uniforms. My favorite is the pure white apple uniform. They just look so pristine. They even give you a choice to rock the retro skins. That's pretty dope. I love when remakes pay homage to the original. A little something old and new fans can share, you know? And it wouldn't be a horror game if you didn't have silly costumes. You could dress a guy up as a snowman and the other as a reindeer. Heck, there's even a Jill Valentine reference here. Snorri really went all in with these outfits, really showing just how popular White Day must be in Korea, because this is a lot for what was initially a mobile game. Alright, with that out the way, time to start the game. The game will take place in 4 different buildings, so my video will be outlined similarly, while I cover the most important events in each section. Okay? Let's start in Building 1. Hee Min enters into the school as the doors shut behind him, locking us in. We now have control of Hee Min.
How do we get in? Yeah, I wonder how we can do it. Oh my, you totally startled me just then.
While exploring, we find 2 girls looking for a way inside of a locked classroom. The girl with the glasses is Ji-Hyeon, a sweet and timid cinnamon roll.
I think you're incredibly brave. All alone this late.
And the other is Sung-ah, a flirtatious bad girl evident by her tramp stamp, visible when showing off her midriff.
What are you talking about? Pervert.
Ji-Hyeon tells Sung-ah that she recognizes Hee Min as the new transfer student before leaving. It's here we're introduced to the dialogue choice system. The overall responses are limited to 2 options. And depending on your response, you could affect the way your game plays out. White Day has a total of 10 endings, but for the sake of this video, we'll be discussing the canon ending only.
I'm glad that you're here. You are going to help me out. Just something. Follow me.
Sung-ah will waste no time putting us to work. We agree to help her by crawling through the air vent to open the door. But while in the vent, we see this happen. A janitor attacks another student, who we can assume at this point is pretty much dead. Moving forward, Hee Min enters into the workshop where an alarm triggers. Solving a quick wire puzzle will disable the alarm, causing the safe to spit out a home economics room key along with a talisman with the word metal inscribed in it. Quick side note, I just want to point out the little jingle the game does whenever you pick up items. It kind of reminds me of the old jingle from the Silent Hill games.
They won't miss this.
Yeah, that one. Oh man, I mean, it's nowhere near as iconic as Silent Hill, but it is something that when I hear it, I immediately associate it with White Day, and I think that's pretty cool. Hee Min meets Sung-ah at the door and hands her the key. He warns her about the homicidal janitor, but she doesn't seem to believe him.
Thanks a lot. You're not trying to scare me, are you? I'm not that gullible.
Instead, she decides to scare him with a ghost story of her own.
This school used to be a hospital during the Korean War. Rumor has it the whole school is haunted because so many people died here during that time. Maybe the rumor's true. I mean, especially on a night like this. Boo! Did I scare you?
Seeing as she almost gave Hee Min a heart attack, she tells him the school is in full lockdown after 10 and that the only way out is through the lecture hall. She gives him a key to open the hall doors and tells him the second floor is connected to the lecture hall before sending him on his way.
You know the new building, lecture hall, and here are all connected, right? Here. This is the key to that hallway there. Could you open it on your way out? Go ahead. I still have something to do.
Once he opens the doors, Hee Min is chased by the janitor until he is saved by Ji-Hyeon. They hide in a nearby classroom until he passes by. She is confused by his aggressive behavior. The two talk for a little more before Ji-Hyeon leaves. On the back table, Hee Min finds a lighter, something that will come in handy. You see, the janitors patrol the school buildings. They are attracted to bright lights and loud sounds, so using the warm flame of a lighter will help make moving around the school unnoticed a lot easier. With lighter in hand, Hee Min makes his way to the second floor to return So-yeon's diary. Using the talisman from the workshop, he breaks a magical seal on the stairwell doors leading to the second floor. Upon arriving to her classroom, he realizes that the door is locked. Hee Min decides to just abandon the plan and head to the connecting bridge to the lecture hall when this happens. This is the hanging ghost. One of the best parts of White Day is the ghost encounters you can have throughout the night. Some ghosts are met through story, while the others you have to have key items in your inventory and actively look for them in order to encounter them. There are 20 ghosts in all, and finding them will fill out your ghost collection on the menu screen. Around the school, you'll find ghost stories that will give you the backstory of the specter, and I have to admit, some of these really send a chill down your spine. My personal favorite is the attendance ghost. A below average looking girl has a crush on a handsome language teacher who was always nice to her. One day she wrote a love letter to him and left it in his attendance book for him to find the next morning. The morning comes and the language teacher is nowhere to be found. He's running late, so the gym teacher fills in for him. As he calls roll, he finds the letter and reads it out loud to the class, mocking the girl to her face. The language teacher arrives and reads the note. The girl thought that surely the nice and handsome language teacher would stick up for her like he always did, only to see his face twist with disgust and anger as he read the note. This broke the girl's heart, and she took her own life at the school later that night. Rumor has it that now her spirit haunts the school and attacks anyone brave enough to wear a gym teacher's hat. These backstories really humanize the ghosts. It's just so good. After seeing the ghostly apparition, Hee Min runs to the lecture hall but finds that the doors are locked. Running back to the second floor foyer, he notices Ji-Hyeon in front of a potted plant before walking away. Chasing after her, Hee Min runs into So-young, who happens to also be at the school as well.
Oh. I've seen you. What are you doing here at this hour?
She asks why he is at the school so late. Hee Min tells her that he wanted to return her diary and that he was chasing after Ji-Hyeon. If her voice sounds familiar, it's because she is voiced by Sarah Natachini, best known for voicing Ash from the Pokemon series.
I'm Ash Ketchum. I came from Pallet Town in the Kanto region. And this is my good buddy Pikachu. Nice to meet you.
Before So-young could ask another question, tree branches burst through the door, wrapping around her and dragging her back into the classroom. Hee Min notices that she dropped the master key to unlock all doors in Building 1. He picks it up and uses it to look for a way to save So-young. While searching, Hee Min finds a chemical solvent along with bug spray. Using the solvent, he pours it on 5 plants located throughout the school until he hears a monstrous scream. In the classroom below So-young's, he finds where the ghostly tree has taken root. Throwing the solvent into the monster's chest seemingly kills the tree, or so he thought. As Hee Min walks away, the tree attacks. He dodges the attack and uses a can of bug spray and his lighter to create a makeshift blowtorch, burning the tree and killing it for good. Hee Min rushes back to the second floor only to find that the classroom is empty. On a desk, he does find the wood talisman and takes it. Leaving the classroom, he runs into Sung Ah again. He tells her that a giant tree took So-young, but she doesn't believe us. Rightfully so.
Tree? Are you insane?
She pulls us to the side and starts to badmouth So-young, but Hee Min stands up for her, only pissing off Sung Ah more.
Hey, come on, be honest. Are you here this late because you're into So-young as well? Is it because tomorrow is White Day? So I'm right. Look, wake up, stupid. You think you're the only one So-young bewitched with that face of hers? You don't know this, but she's a manipulative witch. Are you taking her side? And that's not all. There are a ton of totally strange rumors about her. Rumor has it, So Young... Huh? Did you hear something just now?
Before she can make a rebuttal, she is spooked by the sound of a ghostly laughter running out of the classroom, screaming at the top of her lungs. Hee Min checks the direction that the sound came from, meeting the hanging ghost face to face. So Young appears behind us, wondering what's going on, and the ghost disappears. She says the school feels different tonight and that Hee Min is probably the cause of it. She tells him to head to Building 2 before leaving. Doing just that, Hee Min uses the wood talisman to break the seal on the doors connecting to Building 2. Upon entering into the second building, Hee Min is stopped by a child ghost that quickly runs away with a terrifying scream. Exploring a little, we can find the code to the principal's office. Inside, we can solve a puzzle to access a hidden surveillance system. From a recorded tape, Hee Min notices the janitor setting something on top of a shelf in the faculty lounge. This turns out to be a key to the second faculty lounge located on the second floor. While leaving the room, Hee Min runs into So Young, who is looking for Ji-Hyeon. They decide to stick together to find her and head to the second floor. Hee Min and So Young enter into the second faculty lounge. He removes a looping cassette tape from the stereo system just as Ji-Hyeon reveals she was hiding here. So Young asks her why she is in the school this late, and Ji-Hyeon explains to her that So Young called her here.
Hey, So Young. Ji-Hyun, you really are here. What are you doing here so late at night?
What do you mean? You called and told me to come.
So I called you?
Yeah.
Confused, So-yeon tells Hee Min to meet them in the new building once he's done here. They leave and Hee Min is left alone. Exploring the room, Hee Min finds the science lab key and decides to head there next. There he finds a newspaper clipping about a fire that happened a few years ago, but nothing else, leading him to a dead end. Hee Min is lost on what to do next until he hears a piano playing from the music room next door. When he enters, he realizes that no one is there and that the piano is playing on its own, while mysterious blood drips onto the keys. Replaying the notes will cause a key to the piano bench to drop. This will lead us to finding 3 pieces of a torn painting located in the counselor's office. We can repair it and learn that it's a painting of the old music teacher holding a vase. This vase is located in the Lost and Found, where we bump into the baby ghost once again, who seems to be fixated on a clay doll on the top shelf. Inside the vase is a remote control that we could use to eject a CD from the stereo system located in the music room. On the back of the CD is the art room key. The art room is located on the 4th floor, so he heads there next. When he arrives to the 4th floor, the building begins to shake. Entering into the art room, Hee Min finds the source of the school's rumbling. The child ghost has grown in size and begins to throw a tantrum that could destroy the school. Thinking on his feet, Hee Min runs to the Lost and Found to retrieve the clay doll the child seemed attached to. Using the art room Keurig, he completes the doll, handing it to the child, soothing their soul. When Hee Min opens the door, he finds the earth talisman next to the clay doll of a smiling mother and her child. Using the earth talisman, Hee Min unlocks the connecting hall to the new building. As the doors open, he notices So Young walk by. Hee Min begins to chase after her until Sung Ah appears, yelling So Young's name to get her attention, but she ignores her.
So Young! So Young! Hey! So Young,
Hee Min runs after So Young, looking back as Sung-ah smirks, and the door closes. When Hee Min enters into the new building, he is met by So Young, who seems to be worried about Ji-Hyeon. She says that she told her to come here a while ago, but she still isn't here yet. She proposes that she and Hee Min should stick together to find her, to which he agrees. Now, just a quick tip. This next scene is optional, and it's possible you could miss it if you're on any other path other than the canon one.
This one's open. Let's take a break in here. I'm thirsty and tired.
You see, So Yeon says that she's tired and will ask to take a break in the faculty lounge. She will mention that she is thirsty, and Hee Min can take this time to give her a black coffee, where she even offers him some.
Oh. Is that for me? Oh. Did you want some of it?
Taking this time, Hee Min can return the diary to her, and the two form a legit connection before getting back to their search. So Young explains that the classrooms are split into 3 different colors: red, yellow, and blue. She tells Hee Min that if he wants to investigate the building, he will need to find all 3 color cards to open the doors. They find the yellow key card in the school history room when the school starts to shake.
That was scary. I'm all right. Let's use that key card to open the 2nd floor hallway door.
Using the yellow key card, they open the foyer door and notice that the key to the school's roof is on top of a light fixture, placed there by some students as a prank. So Yeon says that they should split up and heads off on her own. Hee Min discovers that there are 2 cassette players in the new building, one missing a drive belt and the other missing an electric cord. One of the cassette players can be found in the listening room, but he isn't able to enter because the room is being haunted by an evil spirit that can only be repelled by the power of the light talisman locked in the library. That door is red, so Hee Min's going to need a red key card to move forward. Using the yellow key card, Hee Min opens the dance room and inserts the cursed CD he got from Building 2. The music starts to play when Hee Min notices his reflection moving on its own. This is the mirror ghost. To beat it, you simply need to dodge the ghost's attack while matching the speakers with their reflection. The reverb will crack the mirror and send the 2 speakers flying around the room. Repeat this 3 to 4 times and the mirror ghost is defeated. On the other side of the dance mirror, Hee Min finds a red key card and heads to the library. Now, this is the one puzzle that I think I really need to explain just because of how poorly it's done. And honestly, if you don't do it correctly, it really screws you over in the end game. When you enter into the library, the back room will be locked, so you need to find something to pick the lock. Outside and to the right will be a power panel with 1 fuse. Move the fuse from lights to power. This will turn on the AC that will blow down a placard from the top shelf. Hee Min can use this to pick the lock. Next, you'll take that fuse and move it from power to alarm. Trust me, you'll need to do this for later. Taking the placard and picking the lock, Hee Min enters into the back room where he finds Ji-Hyeon.
Where am I? Why am I here?
She seems confused as to how she got here and starts to break down, the events of the night clearly taking a toll on her psyche.
Do not tell me to calm down!
Hee Min grabs the light talisman and leaves her here, heading into the listening room where he faces off against the hide-and-seek ghost. This spirit will jump around the room. You just have to find her and shine the light emitting from the talisman on her 4 to 5 times, and she'll be defeated. With that out of the way, in front of the classroom, Hee Min finds the cassette player and takes the drive belt. He heads to the computer lab and fixes the cassette player there. Finally, he's able to listen to the tape found in Building 2.
Fire! Mom!
That's the voice of that girl. Who are you? Why are you here this late?
As he listens to the tape, a mysterious man calling himself the night teacher appears. Keen eye players will realize he shares a striking resemblance to the music teacher's portrait in the second building. He tells Hee Min that the voice on the tape is of that girl. He also says to be careful and hands him a final key card. He tells him to get out of the school before morning or he'll be trapped there forever. When Hee Min leaves the room, he bumps into So-young, and it seems the school is starting to affect her too.
I can't find any clues. And I think we're completely stuck here. Did my sister get stuck too? Do you know the reason I'm here? Well, it's for my sister. You've heard the rumors about me. How I had a sister. My sister killed herself 2 years ago at the school. There had to have been a reason, but no one ever bothered to find out. I'm not really sure, but I think it involves her friend. I used to hear her yelling in her room at night. When I eavesdropped, it sounded like she was talking on the phone. Then, when my sister died, I wanted to find out who those calls were with. I feel so bad for her. She must have had some kind of reason. But no one knows. I can't even help her move on. Never talked about this with anyone before now. Let's go now.
She opens up to Hee Min before composing herself and insisting on finding a way out of the school. The two walk back to the foyer when the janitor appears, separating them once again. So-young enters into the lecture hall as the doors lock behind her. Hee Min is able to get the roof key from the light fixture and unlock the school's pool. Here, we'll face off against the mermaid ghost. Using a pair of L rods to detect the invisible platforms, you have to make it from one side of the pool to the other without crossing the mermaid's path or touching the water. Once cleared, Hee Min will drain the pool, defeating the evil spirit and obtaining the water talisman. Hee Min heads back to unlock the lecture hall doors, but is stopped when a knife is thrown inches from his face. The one who threw the knife is someone you really wouldn't know, but we do find a document on the principal's desk that mentions her. A deranged woman who wanders to school and suffers seizures from loud noises. Wink, wink. Turns out she is the mother of the student that died in the school fire 2 years prior. For some reason, she attacks Hee Min, chasing him down with the knife. Now, do you remember a few minutes ago when we had to move the fuse to get power to the library? This is the payoff. Hee Min can run to the 4th floor and flip the switch to activate the alarm, causing the woman to fall to her death.
My child, I will always protect you.
Sung-ah appears and is shocked at the sight of the woman's dead body. Hee Min tells her that he didn't do it, but she quickly dismisses it and tells him that she heard screaming coming from the lecture hall. She says it could be So Young and that Hee Min should go ahead while she gets Ji-Hyeon. Hee Min agrees and sets out to save So Young.
I'll go look for Ji-Hyun. You go ahead.
Once there, Hee Min will notice So Young on the lecture stage unconscious. When he enters into the hall, a mysterious fire begins to spread, and in the middle of it all is the manic woman from earlier. Her murderous spirit chases Hee Min around the hall until he is able to fix the water system and activate the sprinklers. The fires are put out as Hee Min closes the woman's eyes, and her spirit is laid to rest, and the fire talisman is left behind.
Not Young. I saw my sister. I heard her soul crying in agony. It's trapped inside the school. Hee Min, you must free them. All the dead souls trapped here. You must.
So Young comes to shortly after and begs Hee Min to break the final seal and release her sister and the other trapped souls from the school. He takes her advice and undoes the final seal. Sung-ah will appear and congratulate Hee Min on a job well done while wearing a sinister smile. Turns out Sung-ah had been a ghost this entire time. The ghost of the girl who died in the fire 2 years prior, to be exact. She knocks So Young unconscious once again and teleports them to the spirit plane and reveals her intentions.
Na Young said she would always be with me. She made that promise. She promised, but she never showed up. I was all alone. Alone in the flames. When I woke up, my soul was trapped forever in the school. Like other dead souls, I preyed on people. Their energy, their dissatisfaction, anger, sadness. It gave me strength. But all that's over now. With the power that you've unleashed, I'll be able to live again.
Turns out So Young's sister and Sung-ah were best friends, something that was hinted at throughout the game on collectible documents. Na Young was supposed to meet Sung-ah in the home ec room the night the fire started, but for some reason she never came. When the fire started, Sung-ah died as a result and her spirit was stuck in the school. Sung-ah convinces Na Young to kill herself and tries to take her body, but fails, leaving Sung-ah stuck in the school while Na Young becomes the hanging ghost. Sung-ah plans to take So Young's body in return, but she needed the dark energy of the school that was locked away behind the seals. With the seals broken, she now has the energy needed to perform the revival ritual, meaning Hee Min has outlived his usefulness. She traps him in a labyrinth and leaves to complete her plan. Thinking on his feet, Hee Min runs around the maze, removing the talismans from the seals, essentially resealing the dark energy. As the spirit world Sung-ah created begins to crumble around them, Hee Min picks up and carries So Young to the exit. Sung-ah refuses to give up, however, and starts to give chase, but is stopped by the spirit of Na Young and dragged back to the spirit realm as her little sister escapes safely.
Thank you. You saved me.
So Young awakens to sunshine and birds chirping as Hee Min reaches out a hand to help her to her feet. Hee Min feels that now is the right time to give So Young the candy he's been holding on to all night.
What about Ji-Hyun? Let's go find her. My sister and Sung-ah were friends. I thought about my sister every day, but nobody remembered Sung-ah. She must have felt sad about that. I had forgotten her too, even after all the things she did for me when she was alive. Hee Min, I think that I will remember you for the rest of my life.
So Young hands Hee Min a piece of candy, promising to always remember him as the camera fades. And that is the true ending of White Day. I apologize if the story is a little confusing. I took the entire 3-hour game and tried to summarize it the best that I could, but the game doesn't make it easy. White Day does what I hate most in games, and that is when important information is placed on optional reading material. Considering the low number of game completion these days, it's safe to say that your average gamer is not going to read most of the things they pick up, resulting in important story facts being left on the floor. I get you don't want to bloat the story, but you have to find a better way to hide optional material. The Batman Arkham and BioShock series felt revolutionary when I played them as a kid. You mean I don't have to read everything I pick up? I could just listen to it instead? Amazing. With that being said, understanding the backstory is important in order to enjoy this game to the fullest. So I'm going to try and explain it the best that I can. Okay, here we go. Na-young and Sung-ah were best friends. They agreed to meet in the home ec room, but for some reason, Na-young never showed. A mysterious fire breaks out, trapping Sung-ah inside the room. Her mother, Eun-mi, sees the fire and tries to get in, but is stopped by the janitors, resulting in Sung-ah's death, suffering from an asthma attack. The music teacher Ji-Hyeon practiced the occult and even took the job at Yeondu High School to research it more. According to the original 2001's game, Ji-Hyeon is the one who caused the fire and killed Sung-ah when he dropped the fire talisman. Feeling guilty, he approaches Eun-mi with the idea of resurrection. He instructed her to bring her daughter's ashes to the school along with a personal item of hers. Using her ashes, he created a vase with Sung-ah's name written on the bottom. He then places Sung-ah's inhaler inside. This creates an anchor for her soul. Now that the resurrection preparations are done, they need to try and find a body for her soul to inhabit. Around this time, Sung-ah's ghost starts to hunt Na-young. In the game, you can find a ghost story titled The Voice That Beckons Me. This story involves Girl A and Girl B. Girl B dies and her ghost convinces Girl A to take her own life. Girl A hangs herself, and as she takes her final breath, she sees the face of Girl B, who laughs and says, "Thanks, I needed you to die so I could live." Replace Girl A and Girl B with Na-young and Sung-ah, and we get an idea of what really happened between the two that night. For some reason, the ritual fails, resulting in a major domino effect. Na-young is dead, Sung-ah's soul is trapped in the school, and Eun-mi went insane from the failed ritual, often roaming the school mumbling to herself. She eventually murders Ji-Hyeon, and the school covers up his murder to save face, what little they have. This results in a slow burn that leads to the plot of the game. Hopefully, this may answer whatever questions you may have about the game's backstory. The one person I would still have issue with would have to be Ji-Hyeon. We saw her in front of the plants seconds before the tree ghost appears. She also randomly appeared in the faculty room and the new building. Let's not even mention the way that she darted her eyes when So-young questions her in the faculty room.
Ji-Hyun, you really are here. What are you doing here so late at night?
What do you mean? You called and told me to come.
So I called you?
Yeah.
A lie detector determined that was a lie.
We obviously know that she's been through some serious torture that night before she completely breaks down in the library. I think the game would have benefited from making Ji-Hyeon a secondary protagonist so we as the player can experience her side. But maybe there is a reason for that, you know? We do know she was called to the school by Na-young, and I say it was Na-young because during the Labyrinth section, the game makes a point to tell us that Na-young and So-young sound alike over the phone.
Hey, Na-young, it's me. Huh? It's me, Sung-ah. So-young. Oh, really? Do I sound like So-young? Oh, maybe because we're on the phone.
Accompany that, along with So-young being confused at Ji-Hyeon saying she called her to the school, we can assume it was in fact Na-young's ghost that did it. The question is, why did she call her? Did she intend for her to save So-young, or did she call her there to possess her just in case Sung-ah succeeds in her plan? Speaking of secondary protagonists, the game actually includes a second playable character. Her name is Ji Min. You will need to beat the game and achieve at least one of the 3 So-young endings. After you start a new game, she could be found outside of So-young's classroom in Building 1 after breaking the first seal. She's a So-young fangirl and has snuck into the school to stalk her. Hee Min can save her in Building 2, and the game will switch to her perspective. Playing as Ji Min, you will uncover more of what actually happened the night of the fire, thanks to finding all of the different journal entries from Ji-Hyeon himself. What is interesting is that Ji Min finds a ritual vase with Sung-ah's name in it, which she rightfully breaks. At the end, you learn that the vase Hee Min found in his playthrough is another ritual vase with Na-young's name on it, meaning her soul is still trapped in the school, setting up what is eventually the sequel. I must have played this game at least 5 times before I decided to finally play as Ji Min. I found her annoying and didn't really want to do it, but man, I'm glad I did. She may come off as a stage 5 stalker.
Notice me, senpai, notice me.
But I think the game hints that Ji Min has a lot more to her than we know. She doesn't feel like she's just bumbling around through the night. Instead, it feels like she knows exactly what she's doing and she knows what she's looking for, unlike her male counterpart.
Stupid.
So yeah, that's White Day. Like any other game, it does have its flaws, like poor puzzle design or the fact that you could overlook items needed to progress the story. When I first played the game, I always died at the tree ghost because I didn't realize there was a lighter for me to pick up. You would think the game would try to emphasize such an important tool, but no.
Stupid.
The game is scary, but only on the first couple of playthroughs, and it kind of loses the edge the more you play it. I haven't played the 2001 release, but from the videos online, I could tell the first release was way scarier compared to the remake. One of the best points of the remake, however, is without a doubt the voice acting. I think the English voice actors did an amazing job matching the Asian mocap acting that's usually very cartoonish and over-exaggerated, especially when compared to other attempts.
I have to give you something. Here it is.
It's the key to my grandfather's room. Mother always has this key with her. What are you doing with it? You saw her? When and where?
Calm down, calm down. It was yesterday morning and your mother drove by in her car. Oops.
I really love this story. That ending reveal was so mind-blowing. I didn't mention it earlier, but when you play the game blind, they do such a good job creating doubt in every character. You as the player are surrounded by 3 beautiful girls you barely know in a haunted school, and no way out in sight. During my first couple of playthroughs, I was convinced that So-young was a ghost, so I often chose options that steered clear of her. This puts you on an alternate route where you get more interactions and dialogue from Ji-Hyeon and Sung-ah. So when I achieved the So-young route on the later playthroughs, my mind was blown when Sung-ah revealed that all along she was a ghost. It was at this point that everything it clicked. On Ji-Hyeon's route, she will mention how So-young has been ignoring Sung-ah all night and acting weird towards her. We have seen this firsthand in the second building and the lecture hall as well.
She's ignoring me again. If you're still chasing after her, you need to snap out of it.
So-young didn't act like this on purpose. Instead, she legit couldn't see nor hear Sung-ah because she was dead the entire time. Hee Min and Ji-Hyeon can see her because they must have a strong connection to the paranormal. If you pay close attention to the beginning of the game, when we first meet Ji-Hyeon and Sung-ah, she is annoyed when we appear and distract Ji-Hyeon from her objective. Ji-Hyeon would say that we spooked her, to which Hee Min replies, "You guys spooked me too." Key words, you guys. Sung-ah is a ghost and can only be seen by those who have strong connections to the spirit world. So when Hee Min acknowledges her, you can see her face switch from annoyance to intrigue, because now she has another tool to use.
The living all suffer, but don't you think the dead suffer more? Why does no one listen to the things I say?
See, it's not something that you would notice until it's brought to your attention, and I love that. White Day is available on all platforms. Physical copies for PS5 and Switch can be bought for around $20. It's pretty cheap. You can also buy it on mobile devices. The game is part of Crunchyroll's Game Vault, so if you're sub to the platform, you could download and play the game for free. Fair warning, the game is super buggy compared to the console versions. I also think Ji-Min is console only, so if you want the full experience, Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch are the way to go. The physical copy of the sequel came out a year ago, so I'll be going over that one next. And I have to say, I am really disappointed with how that game turned out. The original and remake aren't perfect, but at least Sonori put heart into it. But I'll have to save that for when I actually make that video. So yeah, if you haven't played White Day, you need to do it. I know I spoiled the game here, but you still have the ghosts and endings to experience. I promise you won't be disappointed. And with that, you made it to the end of the video. I'm Ali Kubo, and I just want to say thank you so much for listening to me ramble about a game for however long this video turns out to be. If you liked what you saw, please consider leaving a like, and I do plan to upload at least once a month, so subscribe for more.
Please, pretty please, with lots of sugar on top.
And if you didn't like what you saw, please leave a dislike and let me know how I can do better. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to get back to finishing Silent Hill. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Have a safe Halloween, everyone. Take care.
Pervert.